Good morning, YouTube. What's up? What's up? So, I thought about an interesting topic Tiger Woods and why there wasn't the black boom in golf and where the fault lies. When he emerged and blew up in 97, it was like a sonic boom. It was kind of like, wow. Because to be honest with you, there's a few things that you didn't think was going to happen. And black men dominating golf, black man becoming president. And because there are still historical firsts and there's still things that shake you to the core. And I had seen him as a kid, his interviews. He was on old TV shows. He was a phenom, you know. Now, in corporate world, of course, when he signed that big deal with Nike, some people thought, oh, what a fluke, because that was an era when cats were signing big deals, but it was like, can you prove it? It's kind of like what Shaquille O'Neal did when he signed all those deals, and then he was put as one of the 50 greatest NBA players online. Some people had problems with that, but he more than lived up to that hype, just as Tiger Woods more than made that deal with Nike. But see, the reality is that that very golf course at the Masters in 1990 was racially segregated. People don't talk about it. These golf courses did not allow black players there. Oh man, imagine one of Tiger's buddies being president at the time with never mind. But anyway, fast forward, and he was a sight to see on Sundays. He wears red shirts, black slacks, get the green jacket. He was Brother Africa, so it felt like kumbaya. It felt like something fist pumping. It was a message, solidarity. So it felt like, you know, um, regardless of how you come down on OJ Simpson, because I still say not guilty on everything. I still not guilty and rest in peace. And he was one of the greatest NFL players ever. He transcended to some folks this pseudo colorless aura. And he did in football, and he was able to tie it into hurt. So he was in very conservative elements and places, which only a few prominent black folks have reached. There's a difference between being big on the streets and being big in corporate, and then being big where they acknowledge you by a nickname or something. So he made that part. Just like Tiger Woods' other friends, Michael Jordan, who with the NBA, when they didn't think a black man could be the centerpiece of the NBA, he took that from Magic and Bird, especially from the corporate perspective. We can debate basketball all day, but corporately, that guy's been the biggest money maker we know. And he took it and inspired a whole new generation, and et cetera, et cetera. And you saw it with Kobe's and et cetera, and Dwayne Wade and others. There were others. So when you see that, that was big. And then of course we get, Serena and Serena and Venus dominating women's tennis. That was a big deal. Again, traditionally white male sports, African American dominating. They don't quite get the same romanticism as Tiger, but it was, And of course, you could say Derek Jeter, with baseball, shortstop, New York Yankees, huge, big time, ethnicity, etc. All that plays a part. But when he came on, and it's funny too, because I saw an old clip of Tiger talking about how he wanted to, as a black man, he was acknowledging Charlie Stafford and other African Americans who paved the way um, for African Americans to play. But then he got on Oprah and he said cannibalism or Coca Cabana or something. And then it kind of just went poof. So, wow, folks. And I remember More Money, More Problems, Biggie, Mace, Puffy. And remember they mocked Fuzzy Zella's racist remarks about Tiger. And it looked like it was the start of something. But when he made that cannibalism or Coca Cabana, whatever he said, he just went to a cornball mode and people got turned off. And he never really recovered in the community with certain folks. Oh, there have always been people in your family that play golf. And there's a few black people playing golf now. But the reason why it wasn't the boom was a few factors. I think it costs a lot of money, but I also think that he turned a lot of people off with how he basically sold his soul, sold it out. That's how I look at it. And he is great. He's arguably the greatest golfer ever. And he's entitled to how he, wants to view himself. However, ain't it funny, an irony of irony? when he was presented at the White House during Black History Month, then you hear Donald Trump says, my black friend, Tiger Woods. And he looked very uncomfortable because he was and he had to come back home. See, this is the thing. And the golf is not the same now. Yeah, you still got Rory McIlroy and Justin Leonard and these cats, and I peep them out. And let me tell you something. They are a reflection of his work ethic of working out, taking care of your body. Because before he blew up, there was John Daly. And I like John Daly, all right, but it was kind of like, you went from lean Elvis to fat Elvis. That's how I was conceived on golf course. Kind of like Rodney Dangerfield and Caddyshack. You ain't see nobody that was working out with Navy SEALs and putting in the work like Tiger did. Tiger made you step your game up. Tiger went in it. He went in it. And he was long and lean, and he was, he was doing things. But cornball brother. I read that GQ interview and his humorous jokes, and of course what ended up happening is in the personal side, just seemed like a cat that really didn't want to be bothered and didn't really want to be down with the struggle and tell it like it was, because he could have really flipped the script. And I do think that did turn some folks away, because in sports that are considered still traditionally white, i.e. golf, i.e. hockey, i.e. tennis, there's more female African Americans, not so much on the male side as much. There's a few. But the money, the economics, and how you carry yourself carries so much weight. And acting kind of indifferent and acting like I got it. And people can see. They can see, So I think that was a golden opportunity because, I'm going to tell you like this. Tiger Woods was kind of like the Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, O.J. Simpson, Derek Jeter, all rolled into one, with a Barry Bonds type of impact too. I mean, all rolled into one. Anybody who was dominating their sport or their industry or their field, especially it was black and what have you. But they root for him now, and he definitely got accepted because of how he kind of, But the fist pumping, the red shirt, and had he kept, had he been more about, we need to change this and, trying to put some things in, because they did Tiger proof the Masters. He was tearing that butt up so bad that they had to make the course longer. But if he had spoken out on some things and been more vocal, we never know, But he didn't do that. He was never going to be an Ali. He was never going to be a Colin Kaepernick or Craig Hodges or Spencer Haywood or Bill Russell, anything like that, or Jim Brown. He was never going, he was like a Jackie Robinson figure, but Jackie Robinson had to fight everything. Tiger went kind of passive. And so when he got dissed by Sergio Garcia, when Vijay Singh talked trash to him, all them cats kind of they ate off his plate. But he didn't, he didn't put anything to say, hey, this situation is wrong, so, and it's kind of like a missed opportunity with that. So he does take some of the blame for not putting it. That's a fact. Now he got that right, but still, the people who be feeling against him are gonna come out and tell you he wasn't black enough. He didn't put the effort to really speak on the just cause of what was going on in those institutions, because they are institutionalized, and they still are. It's a good old boy club network, and you can't possibly get excited about something that was openly segregated and so few African Americans participate, especially when you're born and bred in the country. I tell it all the time. There is nothing to get excited about when they give you token rights and token gestures when you're born and bred and your Social Security, and you're not a DEI. You are a natural national. So there is no tax write-off when you are already there. You are, without the foundation and know your history, you are the ones who put it together. So, but again, he chose not to take that path, and that's where you are. So that's my thoughts and takes about Tiger Woods, and what came up short as far as leading the black movement in golf. That's how I would word it. And it encompasses a lot of things. But anyway, let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments. And I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another share if you like. And hit the membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace one time.